Hellos.
Hello.
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 Maybe that's our intro.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, look at the camera, Kai.
Look, Kai. What are we going to talk about today?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello and welcome to Hooptober 8, our 2021 horror movie marathon. This is our second actual video of the marathon. So we've watched another 4 movies and we're going to do our little reviews of them. So
This is only our second video.
well, it's our third because we did the intro video, but it's our
That's
second.
right. It just feels like.
It's our second actual video of reviews. So
All right. And Kai did not watch these, so her opinions don't count. Right? Right. Sorry, but if I hurt your feelings. Put your head up. I'm sorry. Do you want to show everyone your pretties before we get started? Where's your pretties? Oh, yes. So nice. Okay, so the first movie this time was...
the first movie was Twins of Evil, and this was our actual second entry into the Hammer horror films.
That's right. I remember the twins.
Yeah. What'd you think of it?
It was okay. It was...
Care to elaborate?
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, we did watch this a few days ago.
Let me think. What did I like about this?
All right, so while you're okay,
I can tell you
deliberating.
already that I probably will have rated it lower than you or have not rated it yet at all.
So for me, I enjoyed this movie. I don't think I will remember this one. I will remember liking it. I liked the movie overall. I gave it 3.5 stars out of 5. I enjoyed it. It was entertaining, but there was really nothing terribly memorable for me about it. I would say that this is a good entry into the Hammer films. Way better than The Hound of Baskervilles. That kind of
Yes, I
blew.
will give you that.
This was fun. It was entertaining. Like you had vampires. You had
and it was kind of comedic to me.
Well, it was a comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. I believe that one of the genres on it is but straight up horror. I thought it was like a horror comedy.
I don't know. I didn't know if it was supposed to be funny, but it did make me laugh a few times.
Maybe it's not supposed to be, but
A little
I like this.
spoofy.
The one thing that I thought of with this that I never really thought about before is all the witchcraft stuff that they had in here.
Yeah.
Like, this is a British movie.
Yeah.
And so Europe and everything had their own little witch hunts and everything, which I never really considered because we've grown up in the U.S.
And I wasn't even thinking about that being a British movie.
Right.
With the witchcraft, yeah.
But we've grown up with the Salem witch trials and all that kind of thing just all over the place. So I never really think about other countries doing anything like that. So watching this, it kind of reminded me of, there's a Vincent Price movie called Witchfinder General, which
look.
I believe is a UK movie. I'm not reviewing a movie. I'm just saying I watched that one for one of these marathons at some point, and it never really connected until I watched this, because this is a Hammer film, that Witchfinder General movie was basically a European movie, I think. I don't think that was a US movie. I think that was also British or whatever. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think. But it kind of brought some things together, and I'm like, hey, there is other people that burn witches over the years. That's more my point.
And the persecution of them seemed to be a big deal in the movie.
Right.
To a lot of people. Well, not to a lot of people, I guess. Most of the town was okay with it, but it did bother some.
Well, I think the biggest controversy we had with this whole thing was trying to figure out which twin was which.
Yeah.
And how to tell them apart.
I could tell just by the expressions and how they talked and acted, but Ken, of course, found moles.
Well, the one had the thing on her cheek. I was trying to figure out how you could tell them apart, and then eventually I figured it out. I'm like, well, that's the way to go.
I wonder, though, if we look, are they really twins that played that, or was it one?
I'm thinking so.
One's
character. Madeline Collinson, and the other's Mary Collinson.
Oh, okay. Then I will go ahead and say this. One of them had her lower teeth were crooked. That's another way. The evil one.
I think one
That
did.
was another way I could tell them apart.
So what did you give this for stars?
I'm pretty sure I haven't written a review on it yet because you know how up to date I am. With my
All right.
reviews.
So what star rating would you give?
I think I would give it probably 2.5, 3. But that's my scale. My scale runs lower than you.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We're gonna go on to the next one.
I would like to because I don't have a lot to say about this one.
Do we need to whoosh? All right, so the next one we watched was Phantom of the Paradise from 1974, and this is my birth year. This is from Brian De Palma, which I've watched a few of his movies and I've liked him. I did not know what to expect going into this one, and I thought this was kind of like an alien movie, like sci-fi alien stuff. Turns out that is so far from what this is.
Nothing to do with aliens.
No, but the mask and everything, and just the picture.
I didn't even see the picture before we started it, though. I just was told that it was a musical and said I was gonna hate it.
Friend of ours said that it was a musical, and she's like, it's gonna suck. And I'm like, well, I've been through Rocky Horror Picture, so I think I can live with this one. This was better than Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't really care for Rocky Horror all that much.
It's a cult classic. You can't compare something like this to a cult classic.
Well, I can,
you
and
can
I just
say
did.
that you can say that you like it better, but you can't say that it's better than Rocky Horror Picture
It is better.
Show. It's not better, or it would be a cult classic as well.
In this
and
guy's
you would have
opinion,
people acting out these characters in theaters every year at Halloween.
In this guy's opinion, this is a better movie.
Okay, I'm just saying that
You
can like it better. But
the things that I didn't like about
it's a better movie.
The thing that I didn't like about Rocky Horror Picture Show is that it overstays its welcome. It's too long, and I got drunk when I watched it with some friends over here, and we were throwing shit around the house and having a good time.
Maybe it wasn't even as long as you thought.
No, it got, by the time I got drunk,
and there was a naked Jason involved, so that would make any movie seem very long.
Yeah, a friend of mine dressed up, and it was.
Where's the picture?
It might be on screen.
We may need to show a picture of that.
But when I watched that, by the time I was drunk, it should have ended, and it just kept going for like another half an hour, and it was a little bit longer than it needed to be. If it was shorter, I think it'd been okay. This movie here, she biting?
No, I heard her.
This movie here, I kind of liked, but not like. I didn't think it was great.
And I really.
You
was upset about watching it.
You didn't want to watch it. You thought
I tried to get out of watching it.
And then loved it.
And then I really liked it.
Right.
I thought it was good. It was a rock version of Phantom of the Opera mixed with Pinball Wizard. I don't know.
I've never seen that.
Oh, Pinball Wizard's awesome.
But I like the costume in this. I like the characters and everything. The singing kind of got on my nerves a little bit.
There wasn't.
It's so like, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I love the way they do the singing in there because it fits where they go. I loved La La Land, Chicago. I enjoyed those because the way they did them.
That's so fake to me, though.
But
because
this was just
those brothers would not have been out there farming, singing to each other like
no,
that.
probably not. But
whereas in this movie, like all the singing actually fit where it took place because it was about music production.
Right, but where Oh Brother, Where Art Thou kind of did more of things that fit into place, this kind of was more of a musical.
It was a musical.
I know. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou wasn't really a musical. But I would say, like, La La Land, I actually liked as a musical. I am not a musical person. I do not like... I mean, I like music. I just don't like musical movies. It's very rare to find one that I like or enjoy a whole lot. And the more music is in it and the more singing, the more I'm out of it. This one was kind of funny. It was entertaining. There was a lot of things that were fun about it. So that's why I liked it better than Rocky Horror.
Yeah. I shouldn't have said that it was a cross between... The Who, Pinball Wizard, because it was Faust. It was Faust. It just reminded me, though, because it was a rock and roll musical.
And that's fine.
I loved how they worked Faust into that. I loved how that was like the sub.
So the overarching thing is the guy that is basically the Phantom here in this story. He was writing a Faust novel, musical thing or something or other, and then they ended up stealing it from him, and then he gets transformed, and that's kind of where it all goes.
But he wins. Never mind. That's a kind of.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to spoil it, but
Spoil it.
The other thing I thought was, and I know you didn't really care to hear it, but who did I say this reminded me of? God, I can picture his name. The dude from New York. God, I can't think of his name now.
Steve Buscemi?
No. That did Manhattan. I gotta look it up real quick here.
Who reminded you of it?
The director, Woody Allen.
Yeah.
When we were watching this, the very first, I was kind of surprised.
Because it was a little goofy?
I've watched a few Woody Allen movies, and the first, say, 45 minutes of this was a lot like a Woody Allen movie. The way the characters talk to each other, the way he likes to show off the city of New York a lot, the way this was working, and just the way the first third or half of the movie felt like a Woody Allen movie to me. Even with the singing and everything, it didn't feel like a De Palma movie so much as it felt like a Woody Allen one. Just the way he, crafts his stuff. Now, once it started getting into the, let's say, horror elements of this whole thing, then it started feeling different. But for a little while, like the character development and the way he shows off the city and everything, I thought he might have worked with Woody Allen at some point. I looked it up, and I didn't see that they ever worked together on anything. But it sure felt like it was an influence right at the very beginning. So I don't know how much of it was, but
I didn't feel like there was even really a lot of horror in this.
No, it was
if I had watched it before, I wouldn't have put it on a horror Halloween list. But I think it is definitely worth watching. And
it's a comedy, thriller, fantasy, horror music because,
yeah.
We're only missing drama, I think.
Yeah. It has a little bit of everything.
I gave it 3 stars. What'd you give it?
I think I would give it 3 stars. But my 3 stars means more than your 3 stars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I score low. But I really did enjoy that. And whenever it got over with, I was in a good mood. I was in a good mood. I just watched a good movie. And you were like, meh. I was surprised.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed certain things of it.
Okay.
That one is memorable. I would probably watch that again. I would not be opposed to watching it again. I didn't hate it. Rocky Horror, I'm kind of I would watch that again, but under the right circumstances. This one, I'd watch again just because it was entertaining enough.
Yeah. Twins of Evil, I would not watch again, if that's one of our questions.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd watch Twins of Evil again either. It was okay, but I mean, it was entertaining enough, but not entertaining enough that I would say, yes, that was cool.
Yeah.
The next one we watched was Sugar Hill, and this is also my birth year. We were supposed to pick 2 from our birth year, so instead of doing 1 and 1, we did 2 and 2. There's plenty of movies on the list, so we've got enough there to fill in.
And we're actually rolling through them pretty quickly. It's going a lot better than I thought it would.
Well, we started early, and now we're into October, and we're starting to catch up to where we need to be pushing further. But we are doing fairly well. I'm not complaining. So this one is Sugar Hill. This is Person of Color movie. This is also my birth year, so I knocked a couple of things out with this one. I think I've heard of this one over the years. This is blaxploitation flick kind of thing. I don't know. This was okay.
I liked it.
I didn't hate it, but
I liked it better at the end than I did at the beginning.
This is a movie that I would associate with Tarantino.
Yeah.
I would love to see him remake this or do something with it because a lot of his films, like Pulp Fiction and stuff like that, were designed because of his love of 70s movies like this.
I loved the 70s aspect of this, though.
Well, Death Proof, I have this poster of Death Proof up there. That type of stuff is what came from these kind of movies.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What was you?
No, nothing.
Totally lost
Don't worry about it.
What?
I don't remember what I was going to say.
I don't remember either. But I think that's more what I associated with was Tarantino.
I liked the zombie guy in this. Whoever the actor was that played that.
That was Don Pedro Colley. I thought he was phenomenal.
He was amazing.
Now, he didn't really do anything. He just kind of stood there and had this really nasty looking grin on his face whenever shit was about to go down.
Big grill.
That was it. That's like all he did. His costume and that face.
And his attitude. Yeah. That's all he had to do to make this movie like his. He owned it.
He was the best part of this movie.
I liked the lead actress. I know you didn't.
She was okay. She was okay. She
didn't have to stand out as much as he did.
Well,
attitude-wise.
Here's my problem with this whole thing. She was supposed to be the main character, right? But was she?
She was the main female lead, yeah. I think she carried her weight. But I just think he stole the show.
Exactly. But did they do enough with her character or her story arc to do anything? Because, like...
Yeah, she was the whole, revenge...
I know, but, like...
mistress.
And
she killed it. I mean, she killed it...
But whenever you saw...
Literally.
I know, but whenever you saw that somebody was going to die, it was always dude that you saw.
Yeah.
Like, that was the problem that I had.
That she killed men?
No. That the one dude was...
Oh.
You always saw the dude with the grin.
Yeah.
And then you knew people were going to die. And that was... As much as I liked his character, I think that was the big failure of the movie.
But it was a planned out revenge movie that you knew every one of these people were going to die. So seeing him was just a marker.
I don't have a problem with that. Why couldn't he turn over his zombies to her or something and let her lead the zombie?
He did, actually.
But he was in every...
You can do what you want with them.
I know, but he was still in every kill scene.
And I think my beef with it is that not all the kills were as
some of them sucked.
Gory as they should have been.
Well, it's
and I'm not a
70s.
Gory, person. But like the main kill, that really bothered me. It should have been something really dramatic. And some of the others were way more. I thought they were way more worse, more horrible of a death than what she gave the main guy.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of anticlimactic for me.
No, it almost felt like they ran out of ideas.
Yeah.
All right, let's just end it.
You're really going to use that?
That's my problem with this whole thing. I thought that Don Pedro guy really stole the entire show. If they would have used him less, like when they showed him at the first, she meets him and he's like, all right, I got this zombie army. If he'd have just turned her loose with that zombie army and let her go and kill everybody with it, I think it would have been a much better story. But because he was always there every time, you see his grin and you're like, oh, it's going to go down. You know what I mean? The other problem I had, you haven't watched, that Amazon show, The Boys, the superhero one?
I didn't watch The Boys.
All right. So the biggest problem I had with this thing is that she looks like the Starlight chick from The Boys with her costume.
But she didn't wear that costume the whole time.
No,
I loved her clothes.
She
had an amazing 70s wardrobe that would still be in style today. The outfits in this movie were amazing. You didn't realize that.
Look at this chick's clothing, and then look at how she's dressed. I kept seeing Starlight on this. I'm like, I kept thinking superhero. I wasn't thinking zombie killing... revenge-seeking woman. I'm thinking, all right, it's Starlight from The Boys.
Well, she's pretty, and she was made up to be pretty, and turned into a badass bitch that got her revenge.
No, I get all that, but and unfortunately, it's a product of today's times because I kept thinking it was superhero, not somebody out for revenge. So I had a weird thing going with that whole deal. I don't know. What would you give this one for a star?
I would probably... Didn't I say already I'd give it...
I don't remember.
No, I didn't say, and I haven't reviewed it. Or did I review it? Let me think what I would give it.
Didn't you say it was a 3-star and it was higher on yours because it was mine?
That was the last one. That was the Phantom one.
So mine is 3 stars. I enjoyed this. I actually would watch this again.
I'd probably give it 3 stars too, honestly.
I would watch this again. I enjoyed it. The big angle that I did like a lot was that it was voodoo zombies and not just regular plague zombies or whatever. I mean, it was more,
I did
guess,
love the voodoo
traditional
aspect of it too. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I loved the old woman, their Brillo pad hair. I did. I liked that whole thing. The chanting, I liked the little dolls that you stick pins in. Yeah.
So that was Sugar Hill from 1974.
And
God,
now,
I'm old.
That's a long time ago.
So, what was our next movie? Because this is your birth year.
This was my birth year, 1976. Not quite as old, but still.
Still old.
Still old. I was really looking forward to this movie. What movie is it? It's Alice, Sweet Alice, with, as I kept saying, with Brooke Shields. But I just don't want anyone going into this all excited about Brooke Shields like I was, because...
Well, she played a significant role. I mean...
She did. And
she only lasted 10 minutes.
She did a good job. But if you're expecting her to last throughout the whole movie and be the main character like I was...
Well, I mean, if you look at where her name is on the list, she's fairly far down there.
I didn't look at that. I just knew she was in it and assumed, because she was Brooke Shields, she would be the main chick.
I'd be curious if this is like one of her first roles, too, because she... What? You
don't know much about her first roles, then.
No,
She caused a big stir back then for playing nudity or something as a 12-year-old. And her mother allowed it. There was some big drama with that. I'd have to look it up. It was on, I think, Return of the Blue Lagoon. Do you remember?
I've never seen that.
I haven't seen it either, but there was some big deal where she was really young and underage and naked with boys or something.
Mm.
Yeah, we'd need to look up that scandal, but... So this was wasn't her first movie, I don't think.
No, I didn't think it was her first, but I figured it was one of her first. She was pretty young in this one.
And how old is she?
Probably 10 years older than we are.
Yeah, because if this was in 76, she looked like she was at least...
She had to be 10, 12.
She had to be at least like 9 or 10, I'd say. She was supposed to be younger than that, I think, in the movie. She's just tall.
So, I have seen this movie over the years on VHS covers. I've seen it pop up with different people's lists or reviews and stuff, and I've always looked at it and I'm like, nothing about this really screams that I want to see it. I mean, it's a doll with a knife through it and some god-awful mask.
And to me, those are things that I'm horrified of. Like, that's terrifying to me. So I see that cover and I think, gosh, that's probably a really good movie that I have just never, ever thought to pick up and watch.
Well, you don't like watching older movies anyway.
I don't, and I'm scared of dolls and the dolls on the front. The mask is pretty creepy. I just probably wouldn't have watched this because back in the day, I would have thought it was really scary.
What did you think of this? Because you were really excited about it. What did you think about this?
I'm pissed off about it, honestly. I'm not going to get over it. I wish that I could sit back and rewatch it without distractions, because I completely had a different idea of what was going on the entire time. Even though there was a plot twist, the plot twist in my head was much better than what actually played out. Well, but I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying I'm disappointed because I had really high hopes.
Well, to be fair, some of it you were out of the room doing certain things, and then I guess I didn't realize you were out of the room as long as you were, and I didn't pause it during certain things. And then, because you were in the kitchen for a little bit, and then you went in the bedroom for a little bit, and then you came back out. And then I got up and walked away, and I actually missed a few things myself. But I thought the story was pretty straightforward. Like, there's a twist to it. I thought there was a cool twist to it.
Yeah.
I liked how the story progressed. I really enjoyed the way they did things in here.
The characters were good.
And I ended up buying this, so we can watch this anytime you want. If you want to watch it again. I actually kind of want to watch this again, because even though I liked it, there was something that bothered me about it, and we talked about it. And you're like, why is it bothering you? The thing that bothered me about this was how close and tight they had the camera into everybody. Like, I like to see, especially older movies, especially stuff around the time that I grew up or whatever. I want to see the things in the background. I want to see the stores. I want to see the roads and the buildings and stuff. And I know that doesn't matter to the ultimate story, but it's just stuff that I like
doesn't
about
matter
it.
to this producer or director
No, I
or
get
the
all that.
storyline.
I 100% get that. But it doesn't change the fact that the cameras were in super tight. You really didn't get to see much of anything outside of it. So
because you didn't need to see anything outside of it. You were
But
supposed to be focused on the characters.
how many movies do you see that are pulled that tightly into it? So my question now to myself
If I'd
is,
been able to sit down and watch it with no distractions,
but
I
you
think
did
that would
watch.
have helped.
You did watch 3/4 of it with no distractions, and I did bring that up, and you just like, nah, it's not a big
I
deal.
still don't think it was a big deal.
But I want to rewatch this because did that bother me because it was claustrophobic because of the way it was filmed, or did it bother me because I didn't get to see what I wanted to see? Like, I had a hard time, and when I was doing my review, the more I thought about this, the more I thought, you know what?
If it's because you were claustrophobic, I can see that. Because I can see that feeling, but I don't think that's why you didn't like it. I think you just wanted to see the 70s.
Well, I do, and that's the thing. About halfway through the movie, I'm sitting there watching it, and it wasn't really bothering me. It was just an observation that I was like, hey, they are pulled in super tight on everybody.
Here's 70s. She did an afro for you.
You don't really get to see.
Do your afro. Where's your big hair? Where's your big hair?
Killing our review.
Okay, go on.
So, like, you don't even really get to see, like, the whole room that they're in. It's like cutting off a whole bunch of it. And that's why I kind of want to watch it again. Was it claustrophobic on purpose? Or was it like a bad transfer from the old VHS to, because some of those movies, maybe they've lost some of the edges of it and they had to zoom in a little bit. Like,
if I had to say it, I would say it was claustrophobic on purpose to keep your focus only on a small part and not catch the whole big picture, and it made the twist that much harder to catch.
Which is why I would want to watch it again. I think one of the things I thought it was a little generic. Maybe they said what.
Be nice.
Maybe they said what city it took place in, but I mean, it could be.
It could be any city, but it didn't matter.
No. I 100% get that, but at the same time, that kind of boxes everything in a little too tight for me. I think that's why I kind of want to watch it again, because
I wanted to watch it again because I didn't.
Well, we rewatched the beginning of it.
Yeah, we did watch like the first 10 minutes at least.
One of the things that I really liked about the whole thing is once they do reveal what's going on, they keep going with the movie. Like, it doesn't just stop. They keep going and they play things out.
And I liked the very end of it too, where they did just stop. It was a good stopping point there.
I thought they did a fantastic job of continuing on, and things now, and then you see things, and then, you continue on a little bit.
Yeah.
I really like that. So.
And then things that the characters don't know.
Right.
So it gives you a totally different perspective for the last part of the movie. So it was a decent movie.
Yeah, I liked it.
I liked it.
I gave this one 3.5 stars myself.
I would probably give it 3 also. I would give it 3, not 3.5.
Oh,
I'm not
creepy 3-headed doll. That was great.
Yeah, I'm really, really scared that I'm going to wake up to a creepy 3-headed doll that he ordered off of eBay.
They do exist.
He looked them up, and I do not want to find one in my shower or anywhere unexpected.
I don't know. This was a cool movie. I'm definitely not displeased with buying it. It was a couple of bucks to rent and a couple of bucks more to own, and I was like, well, if I like the movie, I'll watch it again. And I'm kind of glad I bought it. I don't see this one on video on demand very much.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it was on Amazon.
I'm glad you bought this too. And when you said you bought it, I thought there wasn't any need for it because I wouldn't want to watch it again. But it was confusing enough that I would watch it again at some point. But not anytime soon because I'm a little irritated.
No, we need to step back from it and come back at it. But I do want to see this again someday.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at. Let's see. We have The Last of the 70s, which is Embryo, which has got Rock Hudson in it. I can't wait for that one.
We can watch that tonight.
Yep. And then Nosferatu the Vampire. And then we start our block into the 80s, which is going to be really interesting.
I'm excited about the 80s.
That's going to be a slaughter fest in there. I think
Maybe I shouldn't be as excited as I am.
I think a couple of these are going to be pretty brutal. But so that is where we're at, and that is where we're going. And that will do it for this episode.
We'll see you next time. We're going to say bye.
Bye.
And Kai's going to say bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you later.
Don't say it.
Kai.
Bye.
Bye.
All right,
Bye.
we're out.
She said it.